Demoniac power is not for the happiness and harmony in people. Demoniac power creates immense sorrow. And whatever harmony and peace is there, demoniac power takes it away. And still the demoniac power receives a tremendous support. Because people are deluded, they don't know what's real. The demoniac power has bigger promises. Om Nilambujashyamal Komalangam Sita Samaropitavamabhagam Panavu Maha Sayakacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Allusions to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side. He is carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hands. Bala Kanda, we are moving towards 172 Doha. And remember, we are continuing with the story of Pratap Bhanu, the story that materialized in the form of Ravana, the great demon. There are two aspects. One is the storyline that is very interesting to follow. Another to understand the deeper philosophy. So therefore, whenever I interrupt the interesting story, don't be upset. Remember, the Pratap Bhanu was led astray by a demoniac spirit appearing in the form of a hog. And he landed himself before his terrible enemy, who appeared in the form of a great saint, Ektanu. And in a deceptive atmosphere, he became a great devotee of that Ektanu. And Ektanu was apparently showing his gracefulness. He said, "Ask any boon and I will give to you." And Pratap Bhanu, who was a very great king, had done lots of righteous deeds. Now, when he is given that opportunity of asking a boon, he says, "May I rule over this whole world for a long, long time, many yugas, and no one would be able to deprive me of that glory. An unobstructed ruler." And Ektanu, which was his deceptive plan behind all this that has happened, he said, "If I were to cook food, and the food is given to Brahmins, so go on inviting Brahmins and allow them to have a feast prepared by me. And those Brahmins will not hurt you, their power will be taken away. In turn, all those who cooperate or all those who are relatives of those Brahmins, they will become also ineffective in dominating over you. It's kind of contagious disease. And that gives you a very simple understanding. If you become good, spiritually divine, whomsoever you touch, whoever comes, interacts with you in a profounder way, they also become good. The disease of goodness spreads. I'm jokingly saying it's not a disease, the blessing of goodness. But likewise, when you pursue negativity, demoniac qualities, when you develop demoniac qualities, allow the lower self to dominate over you. In other words, when you encourage anger, hate, greed, and you develop a personality on the basis of those impurities, you become a source of another contagious disease. Whoever comes in contact with you will catch the disease. One demoniac person comes to a stage of inspiring sometimes thousands and millions of people. And they all follow a negative track, fascinated by one bully personality. Likewise, one great Mahatma, you have history has illustrations. In recent times, Mahatma Gandhi created tremendous effect of a spiritual nature. But then all sages and saints, right now I'm not going to enumerate their names. So this is behind this whole project, that if you were to invite, and food is prepared by me, prepared by demoniac food. Food again, food term is not just what you eat through your mouth and chew up by your teeth. Food implies all things that impact upon your mind, senses, deep down in your heart. You are receiving nourishment not just for your body, but you want food for your thought. Thoughts are also crawling. You have to food. Food for your feeling. Ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhi. When food is pure, mind becomes purified. Sattva shuddhau dhruva smriti. When mind becomes purified, a mystic recall develops within you. Who am I? Not recall based on your ego, but the real I am. Dhruva smritau sarvagrantinam vipramoksha. When that recall comes and dominates your personality, then all forms of bondage, 3 stages of bondage. Bondage with your body because of karma. You are bonded with your mind because of subtle desires. And the root cause of all the bondage is ignorance. All the 3 are destroyed. So this is called Brahmin food. But instead of having this type of pure intake, pure food, the project here is to mix up, make it appear like it's pure food, but envenom it. In other words, be angry, rather, be very nice, and keep the anger, the fox of anger, hidden in your bag. So, that's one simple illustration, humorous illustration. The idea is you begin to spread demoniac qualities, encourage demoniac qualities to spread. And that's the demoniac food. And that's the project of Ekatanu. Deprive the king of divine food and give demoniac food. And all the sources of divine nourishment become polluted. The world has lots of sources of divine nourishment. But when your food has spoiled your mind, then all the good sources of inspiration, they can't inspire you. They lead you to your perspiration. Coming to the storyline, Kalanemi, that was the friend of Ekatanu, who was the terrible demon, who represents mala, gross impurity. And Ekatanu represents ignorance, avidya. So it is Kalanemu that came into the royal palace. Before coming, he kidnapped the royal priest of the king, known as Dharmaruchi, and informed the king about what the plan was made in the forest. And king was so happy to see him in the form of Dharmaruchi. Uparohit bhyavanar banai, charasachari vede jasti shruti gai. Now the priest, apparent priest, prepared food that contains all types of taste, and prepared many sabjis and pickles, many types of vyanjan. Anjan term means something beautifying. You put anjan in your eyes become beautiful. Similarly, there are anjans put with the food, so many varieties of them. Mango chutney, lemon pickles. I can't remember so many, but you can imagine. People count 36, 40 and so forth. And they're proud when they serve a feast where all types of pickles and all tastes are brought together. The profounder meaning is, if you were to be nourished in a spiritual way, all divine tastes begin to blend in that movement. Presently, I will follow the storyline more. Vividha Brigana Kara Amish Radha tehi mahu vipra pans khala sadha. He made delicious preparations of the meat of deer. This was old-time temptation. And pickled all the preparation with the meat of Brahmins. In other words, the type of intake you adopt is rajasic and tamasic. Any rajasic, tamasic intake means rajasic, tamasic association, rajasic, tamasic karmas, rajasic, tamasic entertainments. All this is like taking food wherein flesh of Brahmin is put into it. That means something against developing Daivi sampat, divine qualities. Bhojan kahu sab vipra bulaye, pad pakhari sadar vaitaye. And invited lots of Brahmins, giving them proper respect, washing their feet with humility. They were all invited to line up for the big feast. Parusan jabahi lagamahi pala, bhai akashabani tehi kala. And the food was being served. Hardly they are able to start their food, to eat food. That the heavenly voice, Akashavani, emanated from the sky. And that was again another trick of the demon. Demon was not sure the Brahman will come to know there is Brahmin's flesh. So he spoke out with a magical power, as if it was a heavenly voice ringing before them. Vipravrinda uthi uthi ghar grih jahu, hai badi hani anna jani kahu. Oh, all of you Brahmins, get up, run to your homes. There will be a terrible harm if you were to eat this type of food. Bhayav rasoi bhusur mansu, sab dvija uthe mani vishwasu. In this food that's being served to you, Brahmin's flesh have been cooked. Immediately, everybody believes in that heavenly voices. They all got up with anger. Bhupa vikala mati moha bhulani, bhavi basana ava mukhabani. And seeing this and hearing all that sound of the heavenly voice, the king became so confused. He didn't know what to say, what to do. Bole vipra sakoba tap, nahi kachukin vichar, jai nishachar ho nip, moodha sahita parivar. And the Brahmins, without waiting to understand the situation, pronounced a terrible curse. You dull-wit king, you have given us Brahmins meat, want to spoil our righteous life, may you and all your family members turn into demons, Rakshasas. See, rascal term comes from Rakshasa. You rascals. छत्रबंधु तय विप्र बोलाई, घालय लिए सहित समुदायी, ईश्वर राखा धर्म हमारा, जय हसी तय समेत परिवारा. You low-minded Kshatriya, you invited us with all our relatives and near and dear ones in order to destroy us, but God has protected our dharma. May you, along with your near and dear ones, be destroyed. They all become Rakshasas, demons. संबत मध्य नाश तव होऊ, जलदाता न रही कुल कोऊ. Within a year, all of you will be destroyed, and there will be nobody left to do Shraddha ceremony, any spiritual sacrament after your death. That means your souls are destined to become degraded. While this was going on, now a divine Akashvani rang. But the harm was already done. Ka varsha, jab krishi sukhane, when the drought has already killed the plants and whatever thing you have sown in the field, and then your prayer is heard, the rain is coming. So it's Hindi proverb. Ka varsha jab krishi sukhane. Already that curse has become effective. And now comes a delayed revelation of the actual truth. Viprahu shapa vichari nadina, nahi aparadha bhupa kachukinha. The heavenly voice said, O Brahmins, you have pronounced a curse without understanding the situation. The king has not done anything wrong. This is not the fault of the king. All those people became startled hearing this, but already curse was pronounced. During this time, the king rushed towards the kitchen, and the magical power of the demon took away all things of the kitchen, and himself all disappeared. No food, nobody there. Tahana asana nahi vipra suwara, fireu rau man socha apara. There was no food. There was no cook. King's mind was overwhelmed with anxiety. He came and told all that had happened, his story. And having told all that, he fell down, overpowered by grief and fear. Bhupati bhavi mitai nahi, jadapi na dushan tor, kiye anyatha hoi nahi, viprashapa ati ghor. O king, though it is not your fault, but This was bound to happen according to the divine plan. Curse of Brahmana cannot be withdrawn, and it's terrible in its effect. So in other words, Brahmins retired and curse couldn't be withdrawn. असतहि सब महिदेव सिधाए, समाचार पुर लोगन पाए, सोचहि दूषण दैवहि देहि, विरचत कंस काग किए जेहि. Thus saying, the Brahmins went to their homes. Citizens, people in the city, when they came to hear this news, when the news broke, they began to blame the Creator. Oh Creator, you told us that you are going to make a swan, present a swan, create a swan. But you created a crow. Here also, with these words, there's subtler meaning behind it. If you have divine qualities and if you are following the right course, then your potentiality is swan. Soham hamsa paramahamsa. Swan, as I have explained to you, the bird. It's a wonderful bird that soars. But same hamsa term turned around becomes saham, soham. That am I. So if you move towards that type of experience, I am that, you have become a swan in the creation of Brahma, in the cosmic creation. Crow, on the other hand, relates to duality. Ramayana gives you later a story that Indra's son, Jayanta, in the form of a crow, comes to tempt Sita or creates disturbance. And Rama discharges his arrow and ends up with piercing into one of his eyes. The crow survived with one eye. And the mystical meaning is the vision of duality drives your mind to a world of greed and lot of noise, lot of palavras. Crow does that. So instead of being a swan, you become a crow. That's what happened. Daivi, sampat, divine qualities, if you allow and follow that path, swan. But become deluded by inflated ego, as the story has been told. When Ektanu asks, ask any boon and I will give you. He doesn't ask any boon for humility. Ask a boon for ego inflation. Kalketu returned home and Dharmaruchi, that was kidnapped, Kalketu brought the Dharmaruchi back to his place. And that wicked demon invited all the enemies of the king and they attacked the king. घेरनि नगर निशान बजाई, विविध भांति नित होई लड़ाई. With a great show of battle atmosphere, beating of drums, etc. And there was a terrible battle. Pratap Bhanu, along with all his warriors, and along with his brother, they were all killed. Satya ke tu kul ko nahi macha, viprashap kim hoi asacha. In the line of Satya Ketu, that was the father of Pratap Bhanu, no one survived. No one can escape the curse of Brahmins. Ripujiti sab nip nagar basai, nijpur gavane jai jasupai. Having conquered Pratap Bhanu and having attained absolute victory, these enemies, the enemy, that's Ektanu, and his friends, they now began to handle and rule over the kingdom. Bharadwaj sunu jahi jab hoi vidhata vam, dhuri meru sam janak jam, tahi vyala samadam. Yajnavalkya is relating this Ramayana to Bharadwaja. He said, "O Bharadwaj, when Vidhata, the creator, has developed a contrary view of anyone," that again is an allegorical way of saying when a person has created negative karma, then the divine plan operates to punish the person for his negative deed. What happens then? Even dust particles become as offensive as Sumeru mountain. Simple mathematics, try to find it out. A little dust particle coming into your eye. It can upset you completely. And even your father can become your terrible enemy. And even a rope can bite you, giving you more venom than snake. I'm adding some spicing of Kalapai muni sunu soi raja, bhayau nishachar sahit samaja. In course of time, that Pratap Bhanu, along with all his family and friends, they became all demons. Pratap Bhanu became Ravana with 10 heads and 20 arms. Let me give you the idea of 10 heads. 10 heads means distracted mind. We speak of 10 directions. 4 directions are normal, east, west, etc. But in between the two directions, there is a angular directions. They also are 4. 4, 4, 8. Then up and down, total becomes 10. Simple way of saying all over. So the heads that are not so distracted is all over. And 20 arms. That follows. Each head has 2 arms to support it. And he was powerful hero. Bhup Anuj Ari Mardana Nama Bhayau So Kumbhakarna Balavana. And his younger brother, as Pratap Bhanu's younger brother was Ari Mardan, he became powerful Kumbhakarna. Sachiv jo raha dharam ruchi jasu, bhayau vimatra bandhu lagutasu. And Ari Mardan, that was the younger brother that we have already described. Ari Mardan became Kumbhakarna. And the priest, the minister of Pratap Bhanu, Dharma Ruchi, became Ravana's youngest brother, but step brother, Sautela Bhai. Now, just to give you, Ravana means one who makes people weep. Demoniac power is not for the happiness and harmony in people. Demoniac power creates immense sorrow. And whatever harmony and peace is there, demoniac power takes it away. And still the demoniac power receives a tremendous support. Because people are deluded, they don't know what's real. Because demoniac power has bigger promises. So Ravana. Kumbhakarna means ear that brings about a pot-like head. Everything you hear, instead of going through the other ear, stays stuck and swells up like a big pot. You figure that out. What does it mean? To give you a simple illustration, in an immature way, you hear Vedanta, you become fascinated. What a wonderful teaching. Why didn't I think of it? Teaching you are not the body, you are Brahman. The ruler of the whole earth is nothing for you. Now you don't want to hear anything more. Swells up your head. That's the description of Kumbhakarna. There are other people say, wait, you have to work for it. To purify your heart, practice integral yoga. Realize that it is an ideal. It's not there yet. You are not Brahman until you realize Brahman. But that you are not ready to hear. You are already pot-headed. That's the role of Kumbhakarna. And Dharma Ruchi is called Vibhishana. The word Vibhishana means terrible, but it is in a different context. Anyone who takes a pledge of attaining enlightenment, that pledge is terrible for the world process. I'm speaking of the magic of the world, for that magic will be broken. The word Bhishma has a similar basis. Bhishma of Mahabharata, because he made a great vow of following the path of brahmacharya and not being distracted by anything of the world. Because of his Vibhishana vow, called terrible, Bhishma. Similarly, this is Vibhishana. And their role and their story is coming later. Naam Vibhishan se jahi jag jana, Vishnu bhagat vijnana nidhana. So that Dharma Ruchi became Vibhishana. The world is well known in the world as devotee of Vishnu. And the treasure house of Jnana and Vijnana, knowledge and realization. And all the sons of the king and the servants, they all became terrible demons. Kamarupa khalu jinas aneka, kutil bhayankar vigata viveka. And this is further detailed descriptions. All those demons, they were of different classes. And they had the magical power of assuming any form according to their will. And whenever people hear it, they take it literally. So much so they are haunted by in their dreams by similar visions of demons coming. They come like a crow in the beginning, but they become big. But this is a description of Asuri sampat, the demoniac qualities that people develop within themselves. If you have anger, you know many manipulations of putting your anger into effective role. It knows many forms. Goodness doesn't have that much power. You are good, immediately you are revealed very soon that you are good. So you don't have to wait to create many forms. But the demoniac qualities, they continue to exist, having the capacity to create many forms. Kutil bhayankara, kutil. Kutil means wicked, dusht, dushta dushtayas. Bhayankar, they cause fear. Vigata viveka, and they deprive you of your discriminative power. Your understanding to separate, differentiate between right and wrong, that type of understanding moves away. Kripa rahita hinsak sab papi. And they are devoid of grace. In other words, they will not be forgiving in nature. They will not be doing any gracious activity. Hinsak, always looking for revenge. Baranin jahi vishwa paritapi. And they are the source of misery for the whole world. They cannot be described. So we are not talking about the history it happened. It is the description of the world always. Those who are pursuing demoniac role, those who are overpowered by their lower self, The demoniac nature is expressing through them. Demons are operating through them. Those who have developed divine qualities, gods are operating through them. And turning to more practical point of view, it's not so much to study the world, what's going on. Study yourself. You are a mixture of demoniac qualities and divine qualities. A mixture of higher self and lower self. And nobody is going to save you other than your own self. The formula is, let the higher self rescue the self. Upajay jadapi pulashyakul pavan amal anup tadapi mahi sur shap bas bhay sakal agarup. They all, in the storyline, they were born in the family of Pulastya sage. But they all became demons, pursuing the curse that they had received. Here again, this is not to be confused. Energies in the world, whether they are demoniac or divine, they have the same source, God. Demoniac energies are short-circuited energies. They have to be corrected. When they are corrected, they become liberated. Kinhe vividh tapati nahu bhai, param ugra nahi barani sojai. Gayu nikat tapat dekhi vidhata, mangahu var prasanna mai tata. The story is being condensed very quickly. If you are watching a show, it takes time. Many things happen, they come to decide that they should have a strength. Now they are all advised that they should practice austerity. The Ramayana simply says they began to practice intense austerities. And as a result of this, Brahma himself came to grant boons. In storyline, you always see it as a real history. The simple point to understand is a mystical psychology. The negative in you has practiced austerity. If you want to become upset by smallest things, you started doing this when you were 5-year-old. And you continue to do this day by day. Many temptations came to put you on the right path, but you will not be swayed by these godly temptations. So that's called austerity. Any negative trait, put your mind to it still in a broader level. Negative trait has gone on practicing austerity through many lives. And therefore they have gained terrible strength. And that's the law of nature. Whatever you repeat again and again and again, in that line you become very strong. Likewise, if you were to practice virtuous quality again and again, That becomes divine austerity. Any austerity will have its own temptations. So Ravana persisted and succeeded in performing intense tapas. Brahma comes and says, ask any boon. Karibinati padgahi dashashisha, boleu bachana sunahu jagadisha. Ravana, with humility, offering prayers to Brahma, clasping his feet, said, O Lord of creation, listen. May I not be killed by anyone except man and monkey. As I said, Tulsi has summed it up. Otherwise it would be, Brahma said, ask any boon. Ravana says, make me immortal and the greatest hero, nobody can defeat me. And Brahma says, that cannot be done. So ask anything else. So Ravana itches all over his ten heads. And using his intellect, cleverly, he wants to secure the same boon, but by using some palavras, words, knowing, according to his mind, man and monkey, they are the weakest creatures from the point of view of a demon. So, satisfying Brahma's need, asked the boon, and the boon was given to him. Now follow the spiritual insight. Ignorance-based demoniac force that exists in a human being, the demoniac movement, that cannot be destroyed by anything in this world. You are very angry. Someone says, I will give you so much money. Turn your anger into love. Money won't make it. There is no force and power in the world that can make you give up your demoniac nature. Only two things can do it, man and monkey. Monkey here relates to purushartha, self-effort, allowing your senses and to be controlled. And man relates to God's presence as jiva, soul. If you begin to draw inspiration from your source, then you are manpower as a medium for divine presence. In other words, self-effort blended with grace. That destroys all demoniac forces. Ignorance cannot be destroyed by anything else. Evamastu tumha bada tapakinha, main Brahma milite hi baradinha. And Brahma said, may it be so. Puni Prabhu Kumbhakarna pahingayu, tehi biloki man bismaya bhayu. Then Brahma turned to Kumbhakarna and seeing his gigantic form, he was 4 miles in his height. You can imagine his body. If he were to act in a normal way, every day he would eat such vast amount, and again his food is living beings. And among living beings, his delicacies are human beings. That's the storyline. So how to avert this terrible danger for the whole humanity? Brahma was in this conflict. Goddess Saraswati comes to remedy this. And Goddess Saraswati begins to operate through the tongue. When Kumbhakarna was practicing austerity, he went on repeating that when Brahma comes to present, to allow me to ask boon, I will say, O Lord, give me Indrasan. Indrasan, the abode of Indra. But now, when Brahma asked, Saraswati twisted his tongue. Says, O Lord, give me Nindrasan. Nindrasan means sleeping, the abode of sleep. And Brahma said, oh yes, for 6 months you will continue to enjoy sleep. Only one day you will wake up to interrupt your peace. I was spicing up some of those things. And we conclude at this time.
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.